Welcome to City on a Hill Gaming, a family-friendly tabletop RPG podcast. Let's meet our players.
Hello, I'm Daniel.
Hi, I'm Grant.
Hi, I'm Peter.
Hi, I'm Greg.
Hey, I'm Shaneen.
Hi, I'm Andrea.
What's up? I'm Ben.
We hope you enjoy our show. So he walks over to a large map that we'll say, due to your travels, we'll go with Talks, Lock, and Jock. I did it to myself.
I thought for a second you were going to say Tox, Lock, and Barrel.
Look, one of you made a choice not to name yourself that. That was your choice. There was an opportunity there, actually, and it would have been really entertaining for about the first 2 times I said it. So you see this giant map, and this is clearly a map of the entire plane. And Tox, you're very familiar with this map. Tox looks at a map like this daily.
Is it kind of a standardized map then?
Yes,
Interesting.
very.
Okay.
There's a very standard sailing and navigating nap. There's a very standard nap time on this plane, and there's a very standard map for sailors and traders. Tox, I tell you what, Tox and Lock and Jock, make me perception checks. Tox, do so with advantage.
All right.
Due to sailoring background.
Oh, it's our first roll. It's time to figure out if we built these characters correctly.
I suppose there is that.
Yep.
That's a 4. Good start. Love it. You get those out of the way early. And not when other things happen.
Okay. Oh no,
13.
this is going to be pretty consistent.
Oh, no, with advantage, Grant.
That was with advantage.
Oh, that was with advantage. Okay, it only shows me one or the other. Perfect. 10 from Shaneen.
Yeah, if you mouse
Okay.
over it, I think it shows you.
Does it actually show me both numbers? Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, they were both
Interestingly,
13s.
I rolled a 13 twice.
Yeah, there you go. That's the advantage. Okay. Tox is fairly certain in the north, sort of north central portion of the map, high up in the North Sea, there sure is a large landmass on that map that you have never seen before. In an area you have probably sailed through, where there certainly is not any land that you're familiar with. But there sure is an enormous landmass on that map now.
That's not concerning at all.
Do you say that out loud?
No.
Okay. So Grell walks over to the map and just kind of loosely places a hand up in that general area. So this, the big continent that you may or may not be familiar with, because it didn't exist 3 months ago.
That's not
There's an
concerning at all.
entire continent there?
I have questions.
Hopefully I'll address
concerns.
those. So this continent was, definitely not on any of our maps until a couple months ago. There was definitely nothing here before. No one's really sure where it came from. In a matter of, if my understanding from the Expeditionary Navy is correct, a matter of a week. One group passed through, nothing, and a week later, that. They have sailed around the majority of it, mapped out the coast, and no one has been given direct permission to go inland yet, because, well, frankly, we're not sure where that came from or what it is. But reports have been, what's the polite word? Interesting. And the other polite word is inconsistent. So I guess that's sort of the boiled down version of what I need from you. I have sent you in the past into incomplete situations with incomplete information, and you came out pretty good, actually. Better than probably any group I've ever sent to that tower before. Usually at least 1 or 2 people get knocked out by the explosions. I was actually pretty impressed. You guys handled that quite well. So what I'm asking...
You're welcome.
what I'm asking, and I am asking, you're free to say no, because frankly, I expect this to be quite dangerous. We need this place explored. We need it mapped out. We need a foothold on whatever this is, and we need it yesterday. So what I'm hoping the lot of you will do is gather your things. We'll get you in touch with some supply lines. Supply lines? What am I doing? Some supply lines, and get you hooked up with a ship, and they will take you up there and drop you off, help you get set up, and then I'd like you to explore it, map it, tell me what it is, where it came from. If I'm lucky, you'll tell me why it's there.
Its favorite color.
Or a pair of colors. Perhaps a wedge of
plant?
colors. Possibly
Cork
its
knows
favorite
magic,
plant.
but not time travel magic.
Yeah, it's an interesting one to add to the list. He looks
Can't
at...
give it to you yesterday.
Oh, that's okay. That I understand. Radden just literally just picks up one hand and slaps himself in the face when you say that. That's not how... Okay. All right. Okay. We're gonna move on. Yeah.
Montague just kind of straightens out and looks at the map, and he's, kind of like waits for him to finish like describing what needs to be done. And then he just kind of goes, okay, and starts packing his stuff up and looking towards the entrance.
I appreciate that Ben had me well enough suckered in that moment that I thought you were actually making a point about maybe where it came from, and you just yoinked the rug right out from underneath me. That was good.
You're welcome.
So,
That was my fault for saying it the way I did.
So, question, after we, look at the island and stuff,
Right.
do we just look at it and then leave?
I mean, that's not my preference. I suppose you could. My preference is that you actually establish a settlement there. Should it be possible.
All right. So we can, put up some stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah,
And-
we can do that. We can set up something. That sounds like a
Or
plan,
are you
man.
sending supplies and builders for that as well, or are we supposed to build everything?
Yes. Realistically, it'll be a combination of the two. Part of the ship's crew of the Night Hammer is well equipped to handle the majority of that work. But it would be
That's all
definitely
right.
beneficial if you assisted them.
I've done some stage work in the past. We can build up some stuff. Yeah.
Did it have walls?
I vividly remember accidentally hitting Daniel in the head with a 2x4 when we were doing that stage work.
Better than where I was hit.
Pulling from real life experience,
Yeah.
building sets for theater.
Mm-hmm. Actually,
I think I would have
with a 2x4.
taken the head over where I was hit with a 2x4.
That's probably fair.
Oh, I've done that too, but I'm pretty sure that was my cousin, and he meant to.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's
Kid
deeply
stuff.
unfortunate.
We were playing around.
These things happen. Okay, so he points to the captain, and she steps up. Well, so since you're willing, good. I should probably tell you a bit about what we saw from the coast. We didn't really go inland. There is a city of some kind visible from the coast. Seems very old, but in significant disrepair. Largely uninhabited. There were some kind of, go with me on this, bipedal cat-like creatures. And she turns and looks at Montague.
Yeah, we've seen those.
Not necessarily like this. More house cat-like. And there's also a giant ice tower in the middle of the city that we're really not sure where it came from, but because also this is, sort of a tropical climate, and how there's a standing structure of ice really doesn't make any sense, but that's, Something for you to figure out, I
Do
suppose.
the cat people just kind of fan it all day long?
Possibly. That is entirely possible.
Montague has produced a notebook from somewhere deep within the floof of his fur and has actually like dipped one of his claws in ink and is just very studiously taking notes as this goes on.
Sorry, I was envisioning that in my head, and I don't know if I find it troubling or kind of adorable.
Yes.
It's
Or
supposed
both.
to be adorable.
Good, good. Both it is.
Well, I'm glad some of us are taking notes, I guess.
Fair. And she comes over and she points to a specific area on the map. There's also what appears to be a lone, we'll say humanoid person, who rides around on a large lizard of some kind. Never could really get a good look at the person, but they seem to be by themselves. Large spear. And there's a pack of other lizard creatures that followed them around. So I'm sure
Ooh.
that'll be enjoyable for you.
Like some sort of lizard king.
Perhaps.
Are
Or
you sure these
perhaps
aren't just all?
a lizard piper.
Are you sure these aren't all just stories made up by some crazy people who had some time one evening?
While I appreciate the concept, I don't think that's what's happening because I would be one of those crazy people. And I'm certainly not
Also,
crazy.
like, there is a new continent here. Montague points at the map.
I mean, I suppose it
like-
could be an illusion.
But isn't like everything an illusion,
Seems
man?
like that
No.
would be a really elaborate illusion.
My
I
bad.
knew exactly that's what you were going to say, Daniel. Dagnabbit, I've known you for too long. Okay. Exactly that's what you were going to say.
Well, I just made this character up.
That doesn't change you.
Montague gives him a very serious look and is like, "What do you have against objective reality?"
We don't have time for that episode. That's oof.
It's already late in the recording. I'm not going to get started on this one.
No, we can't go there. And I'm not even going to promise we're going to do it as bonus content. That's just a dangerous idea.
Oh
Okay.
dear, I've
Patreon
accidentally
only
provoked
episode.
philosophy hour.
Nope, not doing it. Okay.
Patreon only episode.
Yeah,
All the characters
Patreon only
discuss-
episode. Objectivism in character.
Exactly.
Okay, I tell you what, if the NordVPN sponsorship ever comes through, then we'll make that episode. If NordVPN doesn't send me any money, that's not happening. And I shouldn't
Don't
have said
forget-
that because now they will, and now I'm going to have to make that episode.
NordVPN, keep harassing them. We will keep continuing. We
Because
will never
currently,
stop.
if you use our special code at checkout, City on a Hill Gaming, you will get a special 0% off.
And 0 months free. Code City on a Hill Gaming at checkout. Not a sponsor, probably ever, I assume. So the captain looks at you. So when you are ready, you have some time to gather your things and preferably make your way to. There's a city about 2 miles north of here. There is a supply depot there. They will give you the remainder of the supplies we don't have on the ship yet. Mostly just actual rations and supplies for the journey. If you will stop there, acquire those, and make your way north. She points at a location on the maps that you received in the package, and it basically takes you north to a port city. Tox you're familiar with. Tox has spent a fair amount of time in that port city, and we will set sail from there when you arrive. Should you all be willing to take this on, I suppose. Right, so is the Sage 7 in? I'm going to have to change the name of the banner.
Yeah,
In,
I think so.
do this.
All right.
Sounds fine to me.
In all sincerity, let me say thank you. This will be somewhat dangerous, and frankly, I don't know a lot of folks that would have been willing to take this on, or that I would have trusted to take this on. Seeing as for some reason they put me in charge of this. I thought of you guys, and you guys seem willing to venture out into the unknown, puns at the ready, and take on the day. So, thank you.
All right. Well, I suppose it's time for the Sage 7 to set sail.
Very alliterative.
Got him. Also probably an episode title now. Good. I'm gonna write that one down for later. And okay.
Hold on. Because of Montague, it should be Punza Furry.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Not Puns of Fury, Puns of Furry.
Yes.
Oh, it's just gonna be cat puns instead of fish puns this season.
We haven't
Hey,
even
man,
made it.
that's an improvement as far as I'm concerned. Cats are adorable.
Dog puns for life.
Just wait till we make it to the continent, to the city that has all the small cats on it.
Oh, the existential crisis of Montague. That's gonna be good. I'm excited about that. Okay.
Now
thought you
he's
didn't want the
talking
You
about.
think that's going to be an existential? Okay, hang on. You think that's going to be an existential crisis, or do you think he's going to be? Oh, look, they're cute, and have several of them riding around on his shoulders within an hour?
Well, they weren't gonna be
Because I
cute,
would
but I
bet
guess
on
they
the
have to be
latter.
now. Okay.
No, make them horrifying.
Just lots of hissing.
just all the hissing. Whatever sound effects I can find on YouTube. Okay.
And
So,
Montague probably wouldn't even care. He's like, "You will not get through my floof.
We just attack.
Your
get
claws are
stuck.
tiny. Do your worst."
sort of like having your back scratched.
Bryan, I will give you $20 if you can make them all sound like Antonio Banderas.
I'm gonna have to go listen to clips. I don't know if I have that voice in my repertoire. We'll see what happens. Patreon.com/JoAnne if you want to support Daniel's cause. Is he on Cameo? Is Antonio Banderas on Cameo?
I don't think you can pay him $20 to do all of your work for you.
Okay, but what about
Oh,
just
we
a
could
couple
get
of
him
lines?
to say
Okay.
like some catchphrase or something.
If he can literally just say meow, and then you just play that over and over again.
What concerns me is I'm vaguely considering this in the back of my head. Okay, we're gonna move on.
Gato.
It just means cat. Okay. So you guys,
It does.
it's true. You guys take
El
a couple
gato
of days,
en el sombrero.
right? Nope, that's still Spanish. Good. You guys take a couple of days.
It's a cat in the hat. Yes.
Yes, you collect all your supplies, and I assume the city you're headed towards is the city of Liren, and it is sort of a. It's actually a city Locke is very familiar with. It is a city made primarily for trade. It is built just basically around a large flea market, more or less, that has become kind of a trading hub for the area. And you know 2 or 3 of the larger name vendors in the area, Locke. You were actually given the directions to the vendor you were supposed to pick things up from. It is an orc named Veril. And Grell says Veril will be expecting you. I think you know them.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
We do lots of business.
Good. Veril will get you anything you need. Okay, so I'm assuming you guys set forward north as a group. You were given horses to make the short journey. And when you arrive in Liren, I'm assuming Locke just kind of takes charge and leads the group at point. The city is bustling with trade. This is peak season for Liren in terms of import and export, and the stall you're looking for is on the northeastern side of town, and it is, while there's a surprising amount of material outside, it looks surprisingly quiet. And normally the orc proprietor would be outside. If anyone's ever seen footage of like 5 a.m. at a fish market, I know that's a very specific reference, but I used to watch a lot of travel channels, so just go with me.
Yeah, of course.
That sort of like peak fish market time where all the restaurateurs show up to buy from the vendors before they actually open, and it's an absolute madhouse full of yelling people buying fish by the pound. This is essentially what this entire city is, with all the products ever, except this one place, which seems odd. And there's actually a sign on the door that says they are closed. But Shaneen, you know, he puts that sign up when he's doing specific deals. and doesn't want, just kind of a bunch of people wandering around the stall. And you know that if you walk up to the door and knock 4 times in quick succession, someone will respond. That's the sort of get you in the door, literally, passphrase.
I will knock thusly.
Hey, Blairy's here.
Yes, Larry is indeed here.
As you knock, a weird train sound happens in the background. And
Montague
then,
looks around confusedly.
huh? And an orc comes
Oh,
to the
dear.
door. Oh, hey, Locke, what's up? What can I do for you?
Hi, Veril. Commander Grell sent us here to pick up some supplies.
He suckered you, convinced you to do this? I'm impressed. All right. You love to see it. Well, look.
You know him.
I do. Oh, girl. The stories. All right, well, I tell you what. I got 2 of my best horses hooked up to a cart out back. You got maybe and Peter, I'm gonna need you to explain I went completely blank. In Level Up, how supply works. The sort of just like
Okay, so,
concept of supply.
You need like a certain amount of supply each day to kind of like survive and fend off taking penalties. Basically, is the short version.
It's
We
essentially
can get into
it's like rations.
Yeah, it's abstracted, so it's not like a unit of supply is this much food and water or something. It's just it's an abstracted rations thing. Each person, each beast of burden that you have with you, etc.
Of medium size needs a certain amount. Yeah. So this appears to be enough supply for maybe 15 or 20 people, for give or take a month and a half to 2 months. Like this is like a pretty substantial amount of stuff. And it's packed onto when he says a cart, it's actually 2 or 3 carts that are kind of all loosely connected together, and pulled by a team of horses. And it's just kind of hanging out, and there are and Shaneen, this is pretty standard for him. Each cart has a driver that will stay in the cart at all times, make sure it moves forward, always stays with the cart, but will not expressly defend the cart should things become aggressive. They're just a driver. So yeah, you guys are, I assume, taking this north. He said something about a boat. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like great with directions, man, but yeah, somewhere in like that way. And Jock just kind of like randomly points and then looks over.
Montague will like reach over and gently like grab Jock by the wrist and move his arm so it's pointing actual north.
Yeah.
Good. Strong. Okay. Don't let him hold the map. If you do anything for me, don't let him hold the map.
What now?
He is not our navigator, Veril.
Good. Excellent.
Don't you worry.
Excellent. That's what I like to see. All right. Well, look.
He's here for moral support.
Is there anything? I tell you what. Is there anything that the 7 of you need before you leave? Anything you need yourselves?
Yeah. Do you have like a fresh set of guitar strings?
He literally turns his head, like looks at you literally sideways for a second, and then walks back in the tent. And you hear rummaging, and then he walks back out and hands you a very small set of guitar strings.
Sick.
Like very small package. Here. Anybody else?
Montague like pulls out the 50 gold that he's got from the message that we were delivered, and he's like, I would actually like to buy a few things. If I can get some finely ground soot that I can, and a paintbrush and a magnifying glass, and he goes through like some various like investigative equipment kind of stuff and lays it out.
He disappears back in the tent, walks out with a small, it's actually all in one box for some reason. and it has a logo drawn on the top of it that's literally just a magnifying glass with an eyeball floating in the middle of it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, here you go. That's never could sell those.
How much do I owe you?
You don't. Like I said, I never could sell them.
Right,
Anybody else?
He kind of like reverently takes this box of investigative supplies, and you can tell he's happy. And he just kind of like walks out the door with that.
Ben, what you got?
How are we doing consumable components?
As long as it isn't anything actually expensive, we aren't.
Okay, but if it has a gold value to it,
Like it has to be like a pretty like. I would say
so like I have a spell for ceremony that's 25 gold worth of incense.
I'm basically good with anything up to about that point, just being something I'm going to assume you have.
Okay.
Or have acquired. If we start getting into the 100, 1,000 gold piece requirement range area, then we'll talk about something. But for stuff like that, no, do whatever. That's fine.
Okay. Then Gork need elixir, health, healing, something to keep friends alive.
You want potions?
If you have any.
Yeah, sure. Hold on. He walks out, walks back in with a small case, opens it up, and there's 10 or 15 potions of healing. How many do you want?
2, 3. There's 7 of us, right?
There are, yes.
Okay.
I don't know why I said that in character. Yes, there are 7 of you. Yes.
Oh, this is legit.
Okay.
Work.
I don't know where I was going.
Trying to count.
Oh, okay. Cool. In characters. Sweet. Yes, there are 7 of you.
Gork speaks third person. Remember that.
Right. Okay. Good. I'm okay with that.
7.
He pulls out 7, sets them in front of you. Lock. You're helping Grell. 50 gold for all 7. One-time offer.
Ooh.
Done.
Gork offers the 50 gold.
Jock doesn't know much, but he knows that's a screaming good deal on health potions.
Yeah.
Available only at your local Walgreens. I don't know where I was going with that. I thought I had a thing, and then I just
let's not make Walgreens canon, can we?
Oh,
please.
But NordVPN's canon. Come on.
NordVPN is really all about breaking international interplanar boundaries. This is just a pharmacy.
NordVPN, their service knows no boundaries. I mean, planar boundaries.
Even planar ones. Yeah.
NordVPN, proud not sponsor of
Proud to not sponsor.
Probably. You know what? That's reasonable. I'm not even upset at that. It is later in the day, so if you wish to spend the night, he will allow you, or you may leave on your journey now.
I would like something from him.
Yes, Brother Brock.
Yes. Do you have a nice, good polishing cloth in case we come across any more of those wonderful foxes or owls we saw last time we were together?
He mulls over the phrase polishing foxes and owls and then just doesn't say anything and goes back in the tent and comes back out with something that looks like it's for shining shoes. I have no idea what you're going to do with this, but here.
As long as it can polish metal, we're good.
Metal. Good. Okay. Those poor creatures. Okay. Good. Anyone else?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your favorite plant?
He pauses, but it doesn't take as long as you think it might. Hibiscus.
That is a good one.
And he walks back inside and comes back out with a small planted hibiscus.
Oh, it's lovely. You've tended it very well.
Thank you. Wait, hold on. Okay, good. That's what I was hoping. It's orange.
Now
Oh.
Ryan's just.
She's not going to buy it. She just wanted to know what his favorite plant was.
That's fair enough.
Now Ryan's just gonna have to go back and like every NPC he's made thus far, he's gonna have to write down their favorite plant just in case it comes up.
Nope, it's whichever
Not a
one I
bad
remember in the
idea.
moment.
Hyacinth.
Lily.
Carrot. Look, I'm a very practical person, okay?
They're
It's
leafy
not
and kind of cute. I'm not mad at it. Catnip's not a plant. Is catnip a plant?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
It is a plant, yes.
Huh, that's good to know. It will never be catnip, I promise. I don't know that I'm going to keep that promise. Okay.
Oh, good.
Cattail?
Cat of Nine Tails.
That's a little
Not a
dark
plant.
for this campaign.
Wait, isn't that what the thing's called?
No, it's just a
Is it
cattail.
just called
Cat of-
cattails?
Nature's hot dog.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't do anything with that. So, Grant or Shaneen,
They do
is
kind
there
of have a
anything your
hot dog.
characters are looking for?
Tox will stock up on some, basic spell components. That's
Okay.
about it.
Shaneen, Locke need anything? You know his supply better than anybody.
Beryl, is there any hot trade items that need to be moved north at all?
You know, actually, he walks back inside and he comes out with a small chest. You open it, it is full of a ridiculous plethora of plants and roots and the such. And Tansy, you know these are things that only grow deeply inland to the south of here. Shaneen, he looks at you. If you see, and this is a name that may only make any sense to you and Talks, if you see the Dragon Turtle Caravan, they'll want this. You can bring me the money back.
You're dealing with them.
All right.
Always if I can.
Interesting.
Look, there are certain things only Traren can provide.
I'll keep that in mind for the future.
For the rest of you, whatever the phrase dragon turtle needs to mean to you, it means to you. However positive or negative that may be. Because that's how I first reacted when Grant said it for the first time. And hopefully I say it again repeatedly on this show. Dragon turtle. Okay, so, do you guys spend the night or do you leave now?
I mean, Montague's, semi-nocturnal, so he's cool leaving whenever, but...
I mean, Jock's a musician. He stays up late at night, so...
Yeah, I was going to say, musician's hours, he's probably semi-nocturnal, too.
Yeah, it's going to be down to, he'll listen if other people veto, but, he's good to go now.
He's only been up for 2 hours. Now
He's been up for that long?
I'm just referencing my hours from when I used to work night shift. Okay. So assuming there is no objection, you will set forth now. You have a caravan of 4 unnecessarily large wagons, pulled by a variety of pack mules and other pack animals. And you have what you estimate to be about a 3-day journey north to the coast. Do you set watches, or do you actually travel through the night?
I mean, once again, the cat person and the musician would probably be fine traveling through the night, but otherwise...
I tell you, how many of you have some form of dark or low light vision? We'll start with that.
I do.
As long as they didn't change anything, yes, dwarves do have dark vision.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Looks like maybe everyone except Brock.
I don't think.
I don't know where it would.
I don't think Dark does or Cork does.
Okay. Peter, do you
Tansy
remember offhand
also-
if Orc does?
Same thing with good old gnomes.
Gnomes. What were you saying, Andrea?
Pansy doesn't technically sleep. She just goes into a trance when she needs to rest.
Right. Let's see if orcs do have dark vision.
Do we?
Yes.
Yep.
And
I
what was the other
don't
one?
have any
Mostly
No.
humans,
Gnomes.
halflings, and some dragonborn that don't have it.
Gnomes. Which kind of... Oh, wait, gnome traits. Gnome gifts. gnome culture. Gnomes do not. So I think it may literally actually just be Greg that doesn't have dark vision. Okay, so you guys continue to make your way through the evening. Shaneen, you know from your trading travels, this is a fairly chill area. It's a pretty straight cut to the coast. It's all open plains with forest on the side in some cases. But it's a pretty chill area, pretty well maintained paths, and pretty light on crime. As you approach, sort of, you move for a day or so, and as you start heading out on the sort of early on the second day, you've been going for a couple of hours, and you get to where you're fairly positive you're headed the right direction, and suddenly there's like this weird transition area in the ground where it stops being green and starts being surprisingly covered in sand. Those of you familiar with the area, which I think would probably be like Jock and Locke, maybe Talks, this area has 0 deserts. Ever. Historically. But there seems to be a significant amount of sand as you head further north. Locke, you probably passed through here 2 months ago or so. 0 sand. 0 sand 2 months ago. Lots of sand now. Much sand. Much sand.
Any signs of a hostel?
No.
That's a fair
sorry.
question.
I took that as
campaign.
HOSTILE, not HOSTEL. No to both.
Yeah.
No Grey Dragon inns. No hostels. No Desert Manticores currently. None of the above.
Do you think they like hauled this stuff in for like a beach they're gonna put in or something?
No. Tansy, there didn't used to be sand here. Do you think there's something weird naturey going on? Do you recognize anything weird like that?
Since Shaneen asked a very intentionally leading question, thank you, Shaneen. Anyone who wants to. Actually, you know what? Let's not go anyone. Let's go. As I look at your character sheets real quickly, let's go Tansy. I'm trying to think who else this would fall to. Tansy, Locke, and let's just go Tansy and Locke. You know what? You two have traveled this area. Make me either nature or survival checks. Or history. Nature, survival, or history.
Yeah, Jock will do something, which is like take out his great axe and like shovel the sand a little bit to see if it's just like burying grass or if there's just like more sand.
More sand, man. Just more sand.
Oh, man, that's wild.
And you see a couple, Jock, you've traveled enough to be familiar with this. You see a couple of creatures you've only seen in desert towns you've passed through for gigs. Like the kinds of lizards you shouldn't see anywhere else.
Oh, man, that little dude shouldn't be out here.
But that little dude does seem super chill.
I don't think I rolled correctly.
It rolled.
It looks a little like there's a lot going on.
It does look like there's a lot going on.
It rolled with advantage plus
I think
1d4.
I think it rolled with disadvantage.
Oh, yeah, drop the high. Yeah.
One of the rolls was 18.
Make sure that my bonus got added in, and I think I pressed the wrong thing.
Okay.
Well, there's that. Okay, so that D4 is an expertise die, most likely.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it was 2d20. Drop the high one. So yeah, it was disadvantage.
We'll take
plus
the 18.
2 for.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay.
Take the 18, add 2, gives you 20.
Sure, why not? We'll go with that, and the 22 for Shaneen.
Okay.
This certainly is Tansy, I think this is maybe more your area. This is not just a bunch of sand with some desert creatures. This is an actual desert from somewhere, but not that used to be here. This isn't just like someone magically dumped a bunch of sand here, or as Jock pointed out, for perhaps building some kind of resort on the coast. This appears to be an actual inordinately misplaced desert with all its functioning pieces.
Whose desert is this?
Ryan, real quick. I've got astronomy in my specialty for nature.
Okay.
Could I check the stars and see if anything has shifted in the stars above us?
Nothing. Yes, you can. No, it hasn't.
Okay. So we're still looking at our skies.
Yes. You are 100%. Everything you have seen prior to someone's desert they've misplaced appears to be pretty standard for this area.
So we didn't just plane shift walk through onto a new level.
No. This is not the plane of elemental sand.
Ugh, it's everywhere.
I hate sand. Wondered if we would get to that one eventually. Good.
Yeah. Jock is just gonna tamp down the urge to like make a missing poster of a desert. Just be like, have you lost this desert? But he's not gonna do it. The thought goes through his head though.
Okay. That's good. That's reasonable. Shaneen, Locke has not seen this desert before. And you will note that you have passed through several deserts in your time as a trader. This is definitely a desert, but there are some things that seem off. Like the sand is not necessarily the color you would expect it to be. The lizard-like creatures have more legs than they maybe are supposed to.
Sits in the middle of a road.
Sits in the middle of a road. Also that. There's a surprising amount of water for a desert. And surprisingly vibrant plant growth that Tansy notes is, for lack of a better way of explaining it, the wrong color. Like all the flowers that you recognize are none of the colors they're supposed to be. All of this seems very not from around here. You don't even live on this plane. But it's here now.
Man, some lazy person just pallet swapped this desert.
Call me out then. Fine. Be that way. I see how it is.
Montague is like, has wandered off and is like, he's managed to find one of the little like lizard creatures that's got the wrong number of legs, and he is like down like close to the thing, like talking to it in like this soft, gentle voice, and occasionally like gently like reaching out, and like he'll go to like pet it and it'll skitter away and like make this weird noise and then kind of look at him, and this pattern just continues.
How long are you following this lizard for?
I mean, he's not going to go too far. It's just going to be, I would imagine this whole thing happens in like a circle that's like 5 or 6 feet across.
Okay, just wrapping around repeatedly. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. I like it. Oh, interesting. I have Andrea's character sheet open on my screen in Roll20, and every time she changes pages of her character sheet, it changes on mine.
Yep.
Oh.
That's a functionality I didn't know existed.
That is, yep, that's how Roll20 works.
Huh. Cool. Okay. I was using that for reference. Cool.
This was not purely a character moment. This was like in this kind of like non-threatening interaction with this unusual piece of wildlife. Does he notice anything that's useful?
It behaves exactly like a lizard should. It just doesn't look like the lizards you're used to.
Okay.
And it seems any given creature you come upon in an environment like that is going to be relatively wary of you, I would suppose.
Yeah. Especially because he probably smells like a predator, so...
I tell you what, make me an insight check, Peter.
Okay.
You're gonna soul read this lizard.
Okay. Specialty on that.
Okay.
It's
While
a 13.
the lizard is certainly wary of you, it seems, I don't know how to express the emotion of a small lizard well. It seems uncomfortable with your existence. It looks as fair. It's exactly no. Grant's correct. It's exactly that emotion. It is as uncertain of you existing as you seem as out of place to it as it seems to you.
So what you're saying is it looks like it's very newt to this. Newt to this.
Oh,
you stretch that
3
one.
out of 10.
Wow.
No, man.
If you had kept
7 out of 10.
We're
going,
gonna give him a whole 3.
oh, you tried,
The
but
Russian
then you
judge was
backtracked
sus.
yourself, and
Yeah.
then you tried
The Russian
correcting
judge
it.
is sus.
If you had just held true, it would have been fine.
No, explaining the joke makes it funnier.
What Greg is saying is you didn't stick the landing.
Yeah, the Brazilian judge isn't impressed either.
Very disappointed.
Just repeat it like 2 more times.
Got it.
Oh, so the joke was newt to this? So it sounds like new to this because newt sounds like new to. Yeah. So that's hints there.
You're getting closer to
funny.
You're getting closer to it sounding like Mewtwo than Mewtwo.
Ooh, Pokemon.
Wait, are these Pokemon?
Are they little Charmanders?
Dibs on the Charmander?
I mean, if I can remember a Pokemon that's a lizard that has at least 6 legs, maybe.
If there's a Bulbasaur, I feel like Jock and Tansy are going to have to fight over it.
Makes notes for the future. You will note, speaking of how many legs this has, that's a weird transition. The one Peter's been following around has at least 5. Shaneen, you've seen one that has 6 or 7 legs. Brock has seen one with a whopping 10 legs on a lizard.
Wait, it's got an odd number of legs? Is it missing one, or is it just really weirdly shaped?
Yep. All legs accounted for.
It's like a little Odiug.
I want to follow the one with 10 legs.
Which is the exact same size and color as the other one, just, more legs. He appears to be hunting.
I don't know what a decapedal lizard hunts, but
whatever it wants.
I mean,
yeah.
What does a septipedal lizard hunt?
Whatever it wants.
Also, I picture that it's got 6 legs arrayed in like a normal fashion, and then it's got just another one growing out of its forehead for no explicable reason.
No.
It's just a leg that walks. It just helps it walk.
And then, if it goes through a tunnel, it walks on the ceiling with that one.
Oh, good. I was thinking more of like a 1990s Spider-Man cartoon when he grows all the extra spider appendages. But whatever, whichever version of that you want, that's fine.
Would you like to learn the reason why that happened?
I have lots of concerns. I tell you what, since we're in the habit of learning things, next time we do sound check, I will need you to provide me with that information.
Learning things. There's your episode title. We're in the habit of learning things.
I just thought, would you like to learn why that happened?
Either one is possible. Okay, so do you guys, loaded question, proceed into the new desert?
I mean, I don't think we have a better option.
There are other paths north, but you will end up with several extra days travel to even get to them.
Before we do so, can I do an Arcana check to see if there's any weird magic-y things going on?
Yes, please.
I have a specialty of the planes. I don't know if that's relevant or what it does.
Okay.
But just saying.
It gives you an extra D4 to
roll. Nat 1.
Oh, I was going to say add the extra D4.
No.
This seems very natural, Shaneen.
Great.
You're not sure why everyone is so confused. You're pretty sure you've traveled through this desert at least 3 times, and it seems very normal.
The more I look at it, the more familiar it seems.
It's really true. Actually, yes. Locke is genuinely becoming more and more comfortable that this just makes sense.
I like it.
This seems accurate. You're like looking at the map, you've decided the map is wrong. That this is just no, this was here.
Oh man, you know what? Jock's also gonna decide that the map is wrong.
That sounds accurate. Yeah, no, this seems very
Montague
standard.
just puts his head in his paws and just like slowly shakes it back and forth as these people start deciding the map is wrong.
Nope, map was wrong all along. This is the GPS's fault, not mine. I know which direction I'm headed.
Oh dear.
I'm not referencing something that happened to me 2 days ago. I don't know what you're talking about. It's a long drive. So yeah, you guys continue to head north, and this desert goes on for a while. Like, not an unreasonable distance, but I don't know what's unreasonable when you're traveling through a desert. But not too long.
More than a mile.
Well, okay, look, if you're gonna be like that about it, maybe it is a little unreasonable. This continues on for a while, long enough that you actually have to spend the night in the desert. And typically in the desert at night, you would expect there to be some form of howling predator. Some kind of wolf or coyote or something. You do see one. It's green and has a bright red tail, but it's probably still a coyote adjacent creature. But it's less fur and it's less like dog fur and more like cat fur.
I've seen these before. They're harmless.
You have definitely seen these before.
You say so.
I know you. I know.
What's that growing on it? Does it need to be polished away?
What was your question, Ben?
I would say it's a snarf.
Snarf, yeah. Everyone knows the snarf. They're very common in this area. Writes down snarf.
Just going back to those poor creatures.
Snarf.
Was that too deep for a lot of people? Like too far back?
Just far back enough.
It was for me, yes, but that's okay. That's pretty normal.
It was just painful enough.
I was going to say too far back and obscure is pretty normal for me.
Thundercats was on Toonami.
That doesn't mean I watched any of it.
Well, you should have.
I was busy with Dexter's Laboratory, okay? All right, so as you guys continue on the desert, you have camped for the night, and that seems like an appropriate place in a desert you've never seen before, or maybe have. Shaneen's probably fairly confident that this is accurate. This seems like an appropriate place to leave you, stuck in a desert that may or may not be from around here.
Important question. Do we have a horse with no name?
I was expecting that to come up eventually. I decided not to force it. Shout out to Daniel for doing so.
We named it Littlefoot.
I considered referencing that at one point, yes.
I figured this one would be Bigfoot, since we already had the little.
Littlefoot is canonical. That is the name
of all beasts. Foot?
Littlefoot is the name of all beasts of burden on City on the Hill Gaming.
All right. Well, thank you, Ryan. Good session.
Thank you to Daniel, Shaneen, Ben, Grant, Greg, Peter, and Andrea for joining us and for putting all their names on Zoom so that I get them right, because it's 7 people and I'm gonna slip up at some point, I promise. But that's okay. Thank you everybody for listening. Thank you to our Patreon backers, Andrew and Christina, Tony, Stephanie, Ryan, Bryan, Doug, JoAnne, Ashley, JD, and Stephanie. I think that was everyone. I hope that was everyone. We appreciate what you guys do to support us. You've made a lot of things possible, like our new logo. Thank you, Andrea. Yes, check her out on Twitter. Links in the description. She does commissions. Or I've just told you she does commissions, whether she does or not. Hopefully she does commissions.
I mean, oh boy. Well,
no.
She does reasonable commissions.
Later. At time of recording,
the commissions may not be canonical.
At time of recording, some commissions have been accepted in the past.
What he said, that was accurate. We'll go with that version. We do thank you guys for listening. This is just the start of season 4. As you've seen, we're still capable of just the same amount of nonsense as always. Maybe more, which is, setting new standards. That's what we do here.
I think we're 2/7 more.
Statistically, that seems accurate, yes. That does seem accurate. So thank you for listening.
Sure, it's not 2.47 more.
Listen, it's after 10. I'm not doing any more math.
No, we're not. Thank you for listening, and have a blessed day. Thanks for listening to City on a Hill Gaming. For more information, you can find us on Twitter at City on a Hill Game, on Instagram at City on a Hill Gaming, on Twitch at twitch.tv/City on a Hill Gaming, or wherever you listen to podcasts by searching for City on a Hill Gaming. If you want to hear more from the Saving the Game folks, you can find their backlog of episodes at stgcast.org. Thanks as always to our Patreon backers, Stephanie, Ryan, Bryan, Doug, JD, Andrew, Christina, Ashley, JoAnne, and Tony. We really appreciate everything you guys do to support the show. Thanks for listening, and have a blessed day.